What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at DataDash, and today is March 8th of 2021. Well, folks, I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you are. And in today's video, we've got two critical things to discuss. We're first going to be diving into three critical areas of the cryptocurrency, and more specifically the altcoin space, that I think you guys should really be focusing on if you want to lead the market. And outside of that as well, we're going to be diving in specifically to Ethereum and talking about whether or not it's showcasing the signs that it's ready for higher levels, as it is the largest altcoin or the second largest cryptocurrency in the market. So we've got all this and more to cover right after our quick sponsor. And our sponsor for today's episode is TaxBit. The 2020 tax season is here. Calculating taxes on cryptocurrency is complex and time-consuming, but TaxBit has made it easy by automating the entire process. Link your exchanges and wallets to seamlessly pull your transactions through their tax engine and auto-generate your tax forms. Aside from automating taxes, TaxBit provides crypto enthusiasts real-time portfolio tracking and tax optimization visibility so that you can make tax optimization crypto trades throughout the year. If you're looking to stay IRS compliant, have real-time portfolio visibility, and save money on cryptocurrency taxes, then TaxBit is the platform for you. Check out the link down below in the description for more information. Alrighty, everyone, so let's go ahead and dive straight into the market here. Taking a look over the last 24 hours here for cryptocurrencies, we can see that the vast majority of cryptocurrencies are in a no trend scenario, more pointing down towards the red here, slightly down around 1 to 2%. With some really good plays here leading the market up 24 hours. Engine, Decentraland, Yearn Finance, Cell Token, a lot of these being within the DeFi or NFT space. And we're going to hit on this point later on within the video when we talk about the three categories of cryptos that we're watching at the moment. But I want to go ahead and focus in here on Ethereum because I think a lot of people were buzzing about it on Twitter over the last couple of days. And again, depending on your time preference and when you're watching the market, a lot of people get very excited when ETH moves up, when they see it's up 5-10% for a day or within a weekly period. And some get really panicky when they see these kind of declines as well. What we're looking at here is a 30-minute chart. And this is what the vast majority of content creators in the YouTube space, Twitter influencers, the vast majority of the bunch, as well as individual traders are going to be looking at. And it's not what you should be looking at. You should be looking at the longer term time frames, guys. And I know many of you out there are already on that mindset, but I just want to go ahead and hit home on that. Why is it? Well, it's because that we can get a very, very clear picture of where we are and where we're heading, which is the really important question to ask. So let's take a look here at the standard Ethereum chart here. Going back here all the way to September 2019, again, the month when we flipped on altcoins during this period when we got this initial rebound throughout the early to mid part of September. That's when we flipped on altcoins. And ever since then, Ethereum has been setting in higher lows and higher highs here for its price against Bitcoin. This is very important. We're looking at the ETH to BTC ratio here. And just this past week, we got about a 7.74% bump up here from the beginning of the week, where we charted up here towards well above the 3.3 million Satoshi range here for Ethereum. Now, again, I know a lot of people are curious about, Nick, why are you looking at it in comparison to Satoshis? This is really confusing. The really important thing we need to keep in mind here is that Ethereum needs to be outpacing Bitcoin for it to be a lucrative investment for us. Why not just park our capital in Bitcoin if Bitcoin's going to be leading the market? Well, Ethereum, generally speaking, since back here in September 2019, has been having this waxing and waning trend up and down against the line here, this kind of parabolic line of growth, where we're setting in much more significant higher lows and much more significant higher highs. So now we're really going to start to leapfrog here over the next few weeks, I think, as optimism rolls out and as layer 2 scaling comes into fruition for Ethereum. We're going to see not only Ethereum start to charter up much higher against Bitcoin, and once we again break past this previous point of resistance here, or the previous high we set in, there really isn't much significant points of resistance here for Ethereum against Bitcoin. And I think, again, layer 2 is going to be that carry forward. But also we can see here that altcoin dominance has been signaling to us that we're setting up for that next wave here very, very soon. Whether Bitcoin is up or down, altcoin dominance has been not only holding, it's been slowly but surely ticking up here a couple of percentage points from back where we were, where we made support around 37%, all the way up here towards around 39%. And once we get again above this range here and start to test above the 40% range, I think the sky's the limit as we break past the previous highs of September in 2020. So very, very excited to see how we do here. But let's go ahead and actually dive into the discussion here that a lot of you are interested in. And that is the three kind of categories or focus points that I'm watching in regards to the altcoin space. As we are expecting this next wave, what are going to be the key players or specifically the key industries here that we're going to want to watch? Well, let's go ahead and talk about the obvious here. First off, we've got to talk about decentralized exchanges. Now, as many of you know, I've talked a lot about Uni here on the channel, and it's not just because, Uni is just a safe bet in this case, or that I've got a position in Uni. Yes, Uni is one of my largest plays in the cryptocurrency space. I'm going to be completely candid and honest with you guys. But there's a reason for Uni in this case. There's a reason I'm not picking some micro-cap decentralized exchange and just trying to prop it up in this case. No, I really believe Uni is going to solidify its place in the decentralized exchange market. Now, it's not only been a massive performer here over the past few months, and more specifically this week, as it's up over 50%, but there's a really critical thing to keep in mind here when it comes to Uni as a decentralized exchange. First off, we've got optimism coming out to the market, which is going to help Uniswap in the month of March and hopefully between March to April completely scale out or begin that scaling process where gas fees are going to go down. The Ethereum network will become usable again for a lot of people. And a lot of that liquidity is going to shift towards a layer 2 implementation of Uniswap most likely. And if this happens, Uniswap itself, by being able to reduce gas fees for layer 2 users down to practically a penny or a couple cents, if not less, in this case, it's going to make it completely competitive against other exchanges. And with the creation of Uniswap v3, which is the major protocol update that's coming out here this month, we have some really exciting features such as single-sided liquidity that's probably going to be a portion of that. And if you can bring single-sided liquidity where people park their assets onto Uniswap, they don't have to have an equal amount of both cryptocurrencies to provide liquidity. So they can earn fees by staking or holding their assets through Uniswap. They have layer 2 functionality where the core Uniswap fee of 0.3% is all you're really going to be encountering. You can trade any token you want at any time. And additional features we don't even know about yet. This is going to make Uniswap a vortex for liquidity, for traffic and volume within the DeFi space. And it's the reason why the Uni token here has leapfrogged to being the largest cryptocurrency here. And if you just want to, make the argument here that, oh, Nick, aren't small caps and mid caps always what you want to focus on? Take a look at the 7-day performance here. Sure, we've got a few different plays. We've got your Nash Exchange, Cody, Origin Protocol, Ruri Governance Token, all these different players here. Ocean Protocol, which just made a leap up recently. But really, Uniswap is outpacing the vast majority of the DeFi market here. Again, a lot of key players here, large cap to small cap, all being outpaced by Uni token here. And again, it's a point that I want to drill here that you don't always have to hold the smallest cap cryptocurrencies. They're not always going to be the leaders in the market. Sometimes there are players like Uniswap that get such mass market share that they are going to be the single bet that you want to be looking at. And again, this is something that I've emphasized for a while. We set our original target for $50 in March, and I've recently adjusted my target here. To be fair, guys, we didn't hit $50. We got up to around $30-something here in the month of March, which really isn't that bad, right? Or really coming up to the close of February. That was the call there in that case. But we've been holding against this nice line on the logarithmic chart, and I think the real new adjusted target we should go for is $100 for Uniswap by the end of March, or excuse me, by the end of May in this case. Apologies for my statement there. I want to correct it. In this case, $100 for a Uni token by the end of May, by the end of when we expect this altcoin cycle ending. And I think that the chart here projects that we've got a very good pace for this. We've been kind of, again, going up and down along this line. And I think it's a good benchmark here for seeing how things are going to play out. I think that by April, in this case, the beginning of April, we could get up to that $50 figure if things really do play out well. And then again, going towards that $100 target when we go into the month of May. Again, I think that this is very reasonable. And again, I know a lot of people are always cautious about valuations. They're always worrying here about, Nick, is this a reasonable target? And again, if we take a look here at the Bitcoin chart, this actually shapes up quite nicely. Again, we've got our cup and handle here. We're looking like we're going to be breaking against the all-time highs in Bitcoin back here from September 2020. And we're going to be breaking out here towards a possible near, slightly below 3x here for Uniswap against Bitcoin. And that will lead us towards our valuation range for Uniswap. And that's not even assuming here again that Bitcoin isn't going to be appreciating in price. So again, I think that this is a very reasonable target here on the logarithmic chart. Uniswap is a DeFi killer here. It is an absolute player in the space that is not to be ignored. And again, it's a reason why I've been vindicated both here on the channel and in the Dash report about Uni being a massive play for the 2021 altcoin cycle. And I think it's going to continue to be a player. It could stop at a much higher level than $100. It could just be one of the many goalposts. Now, the next category here is NFTs and collectibles. Now, you all know I've mentioned it before. I'm humbled in this case that I'm not an expert on NFTs. For me, I still see that NFTs are not ready for mass market adoption. This all being said, I know that NFTs are the trend. People are going crazy over it right now. It would be silly to ignore this market here and the potential rally that we could see within the NFT space. And we already are seeing. If we take a look over the last 7 days here, there are a lot of plays in triple digit or double digit territory. And I know a lot of people are curious to say, oh, Nick, should I really buy in this case when the market has moved up like this? And to be honest, guys, I'm not going to tell you all what to do, but I can tell you all I'm eyeing a lot of NFT plays. And the reason for this is because we're still early to the trend. We haven't even kicked off the secondary wave of the altcoin cycle where a lot of small and mid caps or emerging sectors like NFTs are going to start taking off. So this is why I'm watching a lot of different plays here. Engine, again, feel is a little bit overextended, could continue to rise. But again, very well to the point here, what we made about Uni in this case, Engine is one of those plays here. I don't really know much about Theta being in NFTs, to be fair, because Theta is more of a media platform. But again, I'm not going to say that they're not NFTs. I'm just going to say that all I know is Engine is a massive heavyweight that's been in the space for NFTs for a while. Flow is definitely one I would say to watch. This is kind of the mid-cap gem, or really small cap technically because it's below $1 billion, that I am still watching in this case. And the reason why is because of the NBA Top Shot. There's a lot of different projects that are being built through Flow. They have a really simple kind of user flow from my understanding. But again, I would say, again, the fully diluted market caps are standing out a bit on this one and a few others. But again, the circulating market cap is what matters when you're trading. Just understand the supply schedule. Look for those discounts and dips. I would love to see this come back down to like below $30, maybe even a little bit lower, and then maybe build some of those positions. But again, I'm not going to miss out on this. Overall, the general trend here is outpacing the broader market from back here in late January. NFTs are the trend now. So keep an eye on plays like Flow. There's a few other ones in the market. Now, we've talked about NFTs, we've talked about decentralized exchanges, which are kind of a critical use case within the DeFi space. The last thing we want to talk about is another DeFi sector, and that is rebasing currencies, which are starting to showcase some really interesting technical patterns. So the first one here I want to talk about is benchmark protocol. Now, you all know that I'm an advisor to the project. I always like to be transparent and get that clear out of the gate, guys. But I really like them because of two differing factors. In this case, from the traditional rebasing currency that started the whole craze, Ampleforth. The first key feature here is that they're pegged to the SDR instead of the dollar. So each token in this case should be correlating back here towards the SDR's price in the end. And outside of that as well, they utilize the VIX, or the volatility index, in order to amplify or de-amplify the rebasing of the currency. So these are two different things that really make it stand out to me, and not to mention as well, it is an earlier on project. It's a fair launch project, a lot of things that check off the box compared to Ampleforth, and they've got a ton of community development going through. They just launched over a pool through the PancakeSwap platform in this case, where you can also, again, not only stake Cake in this case, which is the native token for PancakeSwap, but earn X mark. They've got another partnership here with Ocean Protocol. Again, we mentioned earlier on, they're an up-and-coming protocol you guys want to watch here. They're doing a partnership here for Ocean participants to actually earn on top of their Ocean tokens. And outside of that as well, they've also got Mark token listed on the Dodo DEX in this case. So one of the other major decentralized exchange contenders. Again, I think it's awesome to see all this business development going on, but it's again proof here, and we can see here in the price and the valuation of the market cap here, the higher lows and higher highs for benchmark protocol, that it's showcasing that people are not only excited between all these partnerships and also the market price here in this case, and investors are very, very interested in rebased currencies. Another play I would say here, just to watch here, just to kind of signify overall the size and the growth of the market, is Ampleforth. We can see here again the same pattern here, higher lows, higher highs. And what we're waiting for here is that real breakout above the all-time highs here for Ampleforth, because I think at that point, when we get up to that range, it not only means we've obviously had some upside from where we are now, so we're in the discount range here. We haven't really visited those all-time highs and entered into that second wave of the altcoin cycle. But when it does happen, when we see Ampleforth break above those all-time highs, Mark, Ampleforth, all rebasing currencies as a whole, I think are really going to steal the market stage, as DeFi in this case is continuously in demand for stability-based assets, right? Assets that, again, will come back to a original peg in this case, but also do provide the opportunity for growth as, again, there is more demand over time for these stability-based cryptocurrencies. And that's exactly what we saw here with Ampleforth here, just taking a look at the logarithmic chart here, right? We go through these kind of growth phases here where we revisit back to the all-time highs and go parabolic, and then we revisit back up to those highs and continue on to the next cycle with slightly lower multiples than before, but still phenomenal percentage returns. And again, the reason why this is really exciting, it reminds me a lot of the price pattern of Bitcoin. When I take a look at Bitcoin as an asset and becoming this potential store of value in the space, we see these logarithmic explosions in value. And I see a very similar pattern here with rebasing currencies. It's why it's a very exciting sector to me personally. And the use case of it makes a lot of sense, providing some sense of stability in the underlying asset, but outside of that as well, giving room for it to grow and decline as the need for stability increases or decreases over time. Think of it like a central bank in the cryptocurrency space that's autonomous and can provide increased stability when needed and decreased stability when it's not needed. Anyways, again, guys, these are some different categories and sectors that I would say to watch for. Again, Ampleforth, benchmark, 2 cryptocurrencies I've got positions in. Uni as well, a big play here. And I am looking to kind of segue into the NFT space in this case. So again, keep an eye on it. I don't think there's any critical leader here in the market, but we can see you don't have to be a sharpshooter here to really win out in this market, guys. You just have to know what general sectors to bet on in this case, right? Keeping your eyes clear on the winners. All right, so that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you all appreciated this one. If you like this video, please consider dropping a like. It really is one of the best things you can do here for the channel. Consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon. And last but not least, if you're interested in some really in-depth research into the markets, both for crypto and other traditional markets out there that I keep an eye on, you guys can always check out the Dash Report down below in the description. I'll have a link down below for you guys. And until the next video, everyone, thank you all so much for continuing to watch the channel. It means a lot to me that you guys continue to stick around and become a part of the family. And until the next one, I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.